Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at The Winds of Galecrest. This is published by Stonemaier Games and designed by Paulo Moria. Sorry if I said that name incorrectly. It's going to be a 1 to 6 player game that goes over 3 rounds. This is going to be a remastering of the original game Libertalia, which came out about a decade ago. We're going to go ahead down to the table here. I'm going to give you an idea of how the game plays in general, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is what a 6-player game of Wings of Galecrest might look like. Now, just a quick brief mention, this game plays between 1 to 6 players. If you're playing the 1-player version of the game, you're going to use the solo components here. If you're playing the 2-player game, you're going to use the midshipman. The rules or adjustments for 2 players are pretty simple. There's an entire rule book on the Automa. We're not going to go over, but it's pretty straightforward and pretty nice. So it does have a good solo component to it. We're going to go over basically the 3 to 6 player game. Now you're going to get the token for every single one of the players out, and you're going to place them on this reputation track from left to right. The farther over to the right you are, the more reputation you have, but the less money that you start out the round with, because every round, including the first round, whatever number's under here is what that player starts with. So everyone will get their gold to start out the game, and one single player will be shuffling up their deck, and they will be they will be drawing 6 cards. These cards, all the other players will be finding in their deck, and everyone will have the same starting hand of 6 cards in the first round. Everyone else's deck should be in numeric order to make it easy to find. The single player will be that was chosen to draw the 6 cards each round will be the only one with a shuffled deck. Once everyone has gotten their cards, the round is going to start. At the start of the round, so this is the first beginning of the round, I'm going to go ahead and place out equal number of these tokens from the bag equal to the number of players. So for a 6-player game, I'll be placing out 6 of these in each of the day locations, except for day 5 and 6. Day 5 and 6 are only filled in subsequent rounds. So 5 would be filled in round 2, and 5 and 6 would be filled in round 3. So the whole thing will be filled in the 3rd round, up to 5 in the 2nd round, and to 4 in the 1st round. So this is the 1st round, so we'll fill up 4 days. And the way this is going to work is players are going to place cards, and then we're going to gather loot, and then we're going to do that until all the loot's gone, and then we're going to score up the round and then add it to our treasure chest. So let's go over that briefly. Each of the treasures they get are displayed on this board right here. So if you get a chest, you're going to get 5 gold. If you're going to get a barrel, at sunset you're going to gain 1 reputation, and with the anchor, which is the end of the round, you're going to gain 1 gold. Here you're going to lose 3 gold if you keep it around. Hook, you're going to keep a character in your ship for the voyage, for the next voyage, and gain 2 gold. Saber, you're going to discard another player's character from the island. The island's up here, so this is a card you'll be playing. Amulet, you're going to gain 3 money. And map, you're going to, for each set of 2 maps, you're going to gain 7. For each set of 3 maps, you're going to gain 12. I think in the original game you had to have 3 maps, period. So that's one of the changes in this from the original Libertalia game, among others. And I don't remember there ever being a hook. So one thing of note is that if you play future games in here, you can, if you wish, randomly shuffle these tiles, and they have a stormy side and a regular sunny side, and you'll randomly cover over these tiles to give those slightly different abilities throughout the game. Now, to explain what these anchors, sunset, and sun and moon are, those are the 3 different symbols, we're going to go through around here. Well, a day. So a round will be all 4 days. This will just be a day. So players are going to select cards from the 6 that they have, place them face down. Once everyone does that, you'll flip them face up and place them in numeric order here. So lowest number to highest number, left to right. Now, if there's a tie, what you're going to do is you're going to look at the reputation track. The one with a higher reputation track will be moved ahead. Now, you're going to go left to right to start, and as it denotes on here, all the day actions will fire. All the day actions are these little sun symbols here. Now, this guy, the scout, will actually let you discard the scout and replace it with a card from your hand. That will rearrange this order. That's a nice card because it lets you see what's out first. So you're going to go do that. You're going to go all through all the light actions till you get to the end. And then you're going to go, so those are all the day actions, and you're going to go all to the sunset actions, which are the symbol right here. So this card is a good example of a sunset action. And then this is when you're choosing a loot token. The Automa uses this priority list. So this one here, we'd actually swap it out for a different one. So sorry, I didn't mean to put that one in here because we're not using Automa. But anyway, sunset actions would fire. You would do those from right to left. But as you do those, so this guy didn't have a sunset action, but they're still going to do a sunset action, which will be gain loot. They're going to take a look at the available loot tokens on here and pick one and put it on their player board. There's other abilities that let them do more or do other things, but basically they're going to pick one loot token and put it on their player board. And every other player, as they go along the line, is going to do the same. If you're at the end of this list here, there may not actually be any loot tokens left. If that's the case, you just don't get any. Once everyone's done that, any surviving characters from this board here get put face up in their play area. And then we would repeat that for 4 rounds. At the end of the 4th round, what they're going to do is they're going to take a look at all their stuff and they're going to add up all their gold. And then they'll transfer all their gold that they have into this treasure chest and discard all their gold, because they just buried all their treasure. Then the next round will start, and they will get the gold underneath their token on the reputation track. Now, a couple things I didn't explain is there is the moon action. The moon action occurs at the end of every day that is completed. So after everyone's done their light actions, did their sunset actions, if they have any moon symbols on their cards, they're going to do those. And then you have anchor abilities. And anchor abilities, which are these little symbols here, don't occur until the end of the last day of the round. So at this case, the 4th day. Then all the anchor actions will occur, and most of them gain or lose you gold or other things. After that's done, then you'll start a new round. In this case, we'll fill up to the 5th day for the 2nd round. The player that shuffled their deck is going to draw 6 more cards. Everyone will get those cards out of their decks, and the next round will begin. Now, it's worth noting that every round after the first, players will normally have leftovers from the first round. So where the first round everyone's hands were identical, everyone's hands probably won't be identical for the 2nd and 3rd round. In a gist, that is the entire game of Libertalia. It is a pretty straightforward game. There's just mainly 4 different symbols to go off of. Everyone has the same cards, so it's easy just to go over each of those cards if you wanted to before each round that are new. It has the rules stamped on the board itself, which are clear and easy to read, and the symbols are really nice. So that is Libertalia. Now, I will say one more thing. At the end of the game, the person with the most gold wins, right? But if there's a tie, the person at the highest of the reputation track breaks that tie. So let's go ahead back up to the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on Libertalia, Wings of Galecrest. So I love Libertalia. I love the original game of Libertalia. It was a great, great game. It was a very hard to find game too. This game is better than the original Libertalia. There's a couple of things that this game tweaked and changed that make it more streamlined than the original. And the original is an amazing game that I love. Libertalia, Winds of the Galecrest, took out the cards used to have like a value on the bottom too, and that's how you would determine like tie breaking. Instead, they added a reputation track on here, which I really like. It also changed the gold that you would get at the beginning of each of the rounds, because now it's based on the reputation track and such. The other thing that they changed on here is instead of the little tiny cardboard loot tokens, you now have really nice thick plastic tokens to pick up, which I like a lot more. And it didn't even make sense to have the single-sided tokens that were in the original. So component quality is much better than the original game. Although the original game component quality was still good, this one is phenomenal, like all Stonemaier games. I like how the game's iconography, not that the original iconography was any much different, I really like how it's laid out in here. The game has nice little reminders on the board too that I like a lot, and I like how each of the loot tokens, what they do is on the board itself. Now you can cover them over with those tiles to do like the Stormier light side on there, or Stormier calm side, but it really feels like they're going to probably do expansions, because it feels like those little things are open it up to have different tokens in the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't come out with an expansion that just had a whole new set of tokens that you can use in the game, and before the game starts you would randomize those. But we'll see. It just feels like that's probably something that's going to happen. You also have, I believe, 10 more characters in each deck too, so the decks are larger. There's a lot of really cool, nice things in this game. If you like Libertalia, you're going to probably love this remastered edition. If you've never played Libertalia and you're looking for a really nice hand management game, this game I would highly recommend. This game is amazing. I love it. It plays up to a nice high player count, and it plays up to this high player count without really increasing the time at all, because it's just the same sort of actions, the same sort of pace. It does increase it slightly, but in general, it plays the same amount of time from 3 to 6, which I really like. So I love this game. I highly recommend this game. Libertalia, Winds of the Galecrest is amazing, and that's my thoughts on it. Thank you for watching.